My biggest regret to this day is I deleted one song in my whole career, and I don't think I'll ever delete a song again because I like to be able to go back and see where I started and where I am.
All right. So do you produce and write your own verses, or is it do you get beats and then just lay down your verses, or what's the process in the studio looking like for you?
Yeah. So I started off producing my own beats, but after a while I realized that producing is a whole different, like, it's a whole different world. Like, yes, producing and recording is all music, but I'm telling you, like, you can hear the difference between like a beat and like a professional beat. Like, I can give you a beat right now. Like, I could produce a beat, but I listen to my own beats and I'm like, I wouldn't spit on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my beats are okay, but the way that I like the beats that I record on, it needs to be like, just, I can't create that yet. So sometimes the odd chance happens where I do a beat that's better and I decide to hop on it. But for the most part, as of right now, I am taking beats from either people who send it to me. I have a cousin who makes beats, and he has like this OneDrive where he stores all his beats, and he gave me the password. So I literally just go there and I just grab any beat I want and I shoot him a text. I'm like, hey, I'm using track number 135, and he just knows not to give it to someone else. And then other times I'll just go to YouTube and find beats there. So yeah.
You started what you said 2017. So beginning off, like what was that process? Like just starting, like was your first song a hit, or like how long did it take you to get like in the groove of making music?
Yeah. So in the beginning, it was like a whole like rush. You know what I'm saying? I started, like, we released our first song in 2017, but like I said, like, I first wanted to be a drummer, and then after wanting to be a drummer, I wanted to be a producer. So like, I was producing beats and I was learning stuff and I was learning how to do this and that at home. But 2017 is when I found out that I could record myself and actually put music out there.
Yes.
So that first song, when I slid my verse in there, my brother was like, wow, this complements the song perfectly. Like, this is exactly what I needed. You know what I'm saying? So we decided to put it out just to see how people are going to react,
Sure.
you know? And all of my friends thought that it was going to be a rap song, knowing me. You know what I'm saying? The way I dress, the way I act, the way I talk, everyone thought it was going to be a rap song. But we caught them by surprise by dropping something R&B, which hit everyone by surprise, and it blew up a little bit. And we were like, dang, this is a cool rush. Let's do it again. So what we did is we rented equipment from Long and McQuaid because, you know, we didn't have the funds to actually afford everything at the time. So we rented something on a weekly basis, and we tried to drop a song every Friday. So with both of us being students and stuff, that was kind of the challenge because we didn't have anything pre-recorded. So it was like every week we had to either make a new beat, write lyrics, mix it, master it, get cover art. And we were independent at the time, and we were just dropping it. So it was like, it was very like, it wasn't smart. I wouldn't recommend dropping like that to anybody, but that's kind of just how we started off. And I guess it worked for us because we learned a lot within that rush of, you know, dropping every week.
I mean, like getting your first taste of success, right? That 7,000 streams. I know I would go crazy, man. That's a big number, right? And you're just starting off. So did you ever feel that pressure to like keep up with that hype, to always like on a weekly basis you're dropping music? So did you ever get discouraged if it didn't hit that 7,000 or 10,000 streams?
Yeah, my biggest regret to this day is I deleted one song in my whole career, and I don't think I'll ever delete a song again because I like to be able to go back and see where I started and where I am, you know? So I have songs that I've put out that is worse than the song that I deleted. But the only reason I deleted that song is because it didn't get as many views as I was getting at first. You know, we were on a run, and we, like, a first song did like 7K. And then our next song is our biggest song to this day, which is sitting at 50 something K on SoundCloud alone. Right. And then our next song did like 8K or something. Then we did a cover that did like 5K or something. And then we did that one song, which was like, it was sitting at 100. You know what I'm saying? So when we did that second song that did 50, whatever, I remember like we were in Home Depot because we were helping my dad with something. I remember being in Home Depot and I was refreshing my phone and I would see the numbers jump. Like that's a feeling. Like I will never forget that feeling. Like I'm literally refreshing and I just see it go up a couple thousand. Like I literally thought somebody was buying views for me because I've never just refreshed and it just jumps. And I refresh and it jumps and I'm like, holy shit, it's blowing up, you know? So when that fifth song did 100, I was like, yo, we gotta pull it out. It's gonna make us look bad. Da, da, da. My brother's like, nah, give it time, give it time. And I was like, no, and I deleted it. And it was a song, and I remember having a conversation with one of my classmates. He's like, yo, what happened to that song you guys dropped? It was like one of my favorites. And I was like, oh yeah. And I could have just put it back up, but I don't know why I didn't. So yes, we definitely felt the pressure. After deleting that song, like we didn't drop music for like a couple months. Like that was week after week after week, and then we just kind of stopped because I was like, yo, like I feel like in my head, like it like my head was getting too big. I didn't want to drop songs that had less than this number, or I felt like I should be treated in some certain way because I'm getting SoundCloud views now. You know what I'm saying? So at the time I told myself like, yo, if your mind keeps rolling like this, you're going to get too addicted into the views and the numbers, and the music's not going to be about the music anymore. It's all going to be about the numbers. And then when you start chasing the numbers, you start kind of, making music that kind of pleases the people. And now you're making what they want to hear and not so much what you want to make. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not giving your style, you're not giving your groove, you're doing what you think will hit. And then you just end up losing yourself. I took like a couple months to kind of relax and stuff. And then I came back with an album called Archie. And Archie means like beginning in Greek or something. So that was like my rebirth or whatever. And like, this is like, or not my, but ours, me and my brother. Mm-hmm. We decided to, slow it down and kind of give that project.
So then after that point, it seemed like you took a different turn. It's great, and it's great that you learned that lesson like sort of early on in career, because there's artists to this day who will still only focus on the number and just like, yo, I got to get that stream, and go to the extent of like buying streams or getting on fake playlists or doing that whole, because the industry is like that, So it's great that you figured that out early. So now would you say that your music is more based on like a message, or because even like the title of your album, what you were just describing, like what's the process like of like now making a song? What are you prioritizing now?
I always prioritize my message. Mm-hmm. And that is something that I've told a bunch of people when it comes to like them asking like, yo, do you have any advice when it comes to making music? And I always say like, always think about like, what is it you're trying to say? What is it you're trying to portray? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes like it's harder to give a message when the song is a little bit more like turn up, like that doesn't apply in every situation. Sure. But it's like, if you're making a song like that, it's like, what emotion or what vibe are you trying to portray at that point, right? Like if I'm making a turn up song and I play it for my friends and they're not turning up, I've essentially failed, you know what I'm saying? But if I make a song with a message and they're not there scratching their heads at the end, then I failed again. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make a song where I put out a message and they're out here telling me like, yo, man, the beat was dope. Okay, but did you hear what was going on? Did you hear like, so that's kind of what the process, or that's my priority. I really make sure I try to focus on what I'm saying or what I'm doing. And there's always little things like that. Like I always like to connect my stuff. So my title will have something to do with the cover art, and the cover art, it means something that has something to do with the tracks, and it just all kind of connects. And it's like, it's not right in your face. It's like something you kind of got to look for and kind of do your own research if you really care. And then when you're listening, you'll be like, oh shoot, and connect the dots. You're like, I kind of like to make an adventure, like a game almost, Sure. Yeah.
So like looking at the greats, right? Like we have Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, all of them. It took time for them to work on their craft and right, find their sounds and get what they were comfortable with and writing that message. So what was that process like for you, right? You started, got your 50,000 streams, and then you hit 100, right? So you took 2 months off, right? Did you keep working within those months, like just behind the backs, like not releasing anything, right? And you're like, let me develop my sound. So what was that process like for you, developing your sound and where you started?
Of course. I feel like my sound continues to change. So I don't even think I've fully developed my sound yet. Like I feel like it's still a work in progress. But what I will say is during those 2 months, I really, 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 really sat down and I told myself, like, yo, when you release this, like, don't even look at the numbers. That's not what we're doing here, you know? And me and my brother had that conversation as well. And these were songs, it's like, okay, like we're dropping this project now where it's like we did these numbers and people are expecting something from us, right? So what do we give them? How do we give them? How do we, you know what I'm saying, come forth with this? And me, I was at a point where I was making a song almost every day, maybe two, maybe three. So when it came time to drop an album with like 10 songs and you have like 50 plus to pick from, you know what I'm saying? That's a bit tricky, but yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, we never really stopped. I'm always working. During those 2 months I didn't stop. And yeah.